Right, here we've got the front wheel for the Triumph T140. I rebuilt the rear wheel recently, and this is the front one. The rim, I removed the original rim and fitted this rim that the owner supplied along with the spokes, and the rim isn't quite a sort of bullseye in the compatibility stakes compared to the original, but it's not far off. The spokes all went in, and they're all at a good angle, and they all tightened, but it was a little bit of a faff because they weren't pointing at quite the angles that they ought to have been, but they weren't far out, only a couple of degrees or so, so not quite so bad as some that I've come across in the past. Anyway, it's all built now, and I've got the dial gauge on it there. One rotation of the clock face is 1 millimetre, so we're within 0.5 millimetre of run out side to side there. That's not bad. I'll put the camera down, and we'll have a look at the radial run out. Now this probably make a horrible racket because these rims are not new rims. They've been cleaned up and powder coated, and they've been quite rusty and pitted, so that's what the noise will be when I spin it. Got a surface a bit like the moon, which has been powder coated. Not a worry, we're all that flickery movement still sort of tells us we're within 0.5 millimetre or so of vertical or radial run out, so that's not too bad. Give it a spin and see it's running nice and truly anyway, and I've got the offset correct. It's actually centred. The centre line of the rim is at the centre line of the hub. Sort of the distance, if you put a straight edge across this part, the flange of the hub on either side, the drop to the rim is the same amount, so it's centred. And time Mr. Barco played some music, I guess. Let's see. There, and there. So 40 spokes, 40 holes, but always worth bearing in mind if and when you're considering buying a rim for something, that knowing that it's got 40 holes in it and then it's 19-inch diameter and say WM2, so WM2 19 with 40 holes doesn't necessarily mean that the rim is going to be a perfect match. There's other things to factor in as well, like consider the angles that the spoke holes are drilled at, and what type of hub the rim might have been intended for. But whatever this one was or is, it's pretty close, so that's not bad at all, and that's ready for me to fit a tyre on and stick it back on the front end of the bike, so that'll do for me.